SNP spokesman Alan Brown.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Come April, there's going to be 8.4 million households in fuel poverty, almost a third of all households. So talk of capping bills at an average of £2,500 or £3,000 a year means absolutely nothing to these people who cannot afford to pay their bills or top up their meter. That's people in prepayment meters who are penalised with higher standing charges. People who, once they choose, are forced into not using energy, actually build up debt from these standing charges. Imagine getting into debt by not using your energy. And these are people more likely to have disabilities, more likely to suffer ill health, people who will die prematurely, people who are more likely to have mental health issues due to the struggles of their daily life. Now, I don't know what that kind of life's like, and I know for a fact the government certainly cannot claim they understand what that's like. So we need a proper social tariff now. Further energy support packages needed as a priority. Much more needs to be done in the redemption of these vouchers rather than just asking companies to publish data and government urging them to do more. We need to put in place a temporary ban and forced installation of prepayment meters. And Mr Deputy Speaker, isn't it a disgrace that energy-rich Scotland's union dividend is people unable to turn their gas on when Scotland's a net exporter of gas?
Minister.
Well, I thank the honourable gentleman for his question. He said, what does any of this support has absolutely no meaning, I think was his phrase, or something close to it, for those people. Well, I'll tell you the meaning, Mr Deputy Speaker. The meaning is for those on benefits, there's been £800 of additional cost of living support. On top of that, the £400 EBS support, and on top of that, £900 support coming and organised through the Treasury. This is real support, and to go for the kind of cheap rhetoric we've heard from the Scottish Nationalists, it might be typical, but even if it's typical, it's disappointing. And the honourable gentleman says that we need to do more than just urge the suppliers to do more, publish the transparency, urge it. I am all ears from the honourable gentleman for further ways to identify. We have an application that people have to take their vouchers and they have to use them. Any contribution the honourable gentleman would like to make as to how to build that, I am all ears, because it needs all of us. It needs the whole of society, it needs families, it needs community groups, it needs MPs, it needs political parties to get the message out there to people that these vouchers are there. I'm confident they're being sent out by the suppliers. What we've got to do is encourage people to cash them in at a time when they need them most. And there's always a danger, Mr Deputy Speaker, that the people who need it most may be, we don't have the data, may be the ones least likely to use it. So he can try and make cheap points and shout at me from sedentary position, or he can engage seriously and properly in trying to do everything possible to get a system which collectively makes sure people get the help that they deserve. That's what I want. And if he has any practical steps which he thinks that we should be delivering immediately, that's it. And as far as social tariff for the future, we've said we will look at that going forward. We will look at how vulnerable people are looked after. We have to get it. We have to look at it in a considered manner. And I'm proud of the support the government has put in place. It stands up, I believe, internationally, and we're absolutely determined as we go forward to support people, particularly the most vulnerable, so they can suffer in a time of extreme energy stress.